Tuesday morning, I was excited to see some mongoose around the waterhole. Up until this point, we hadn't seen many. We had breakfast and then took a shuttle for a guided boat cruise.
So, it is now a Tuesday, and we are at Chobe National Lodge now. That last night was our first night. We have one more night here. It is so cool here. Our room completely overlooks the waterhole here, and it's pretty close. It's an amazing view. We've been watching animals right from the comfort of our own room. There is no AC in this room. There's a big fan, which helps a tiny bit, but last night was a hot night. But this place is just so awesome. We're not leaving. Yesterday was just like the driving day. It wasn't that long to get here. We had to cross the border from Zimbabwe into Botswana. Don't know if I mentioned that we're now in Botswana, but the easiest border crossing we've had so far, and we only have one more border crossing by car that we have to do, and that's when we go back to Namibia. So we're hoping that goes just as smoothly. It was very painless, which was nice. Hopefully those bad ones are behind us. And yeah, we just took our time, got here. We're the only ones that were staying here yesterday. So the staff highly recommended we do a sundowners drive. And since we knew it was just going to be the two of us, we decided to do it since we haven't done a late night drive. We've just done one early morning one. So we did that. Didn't see a ton of animals. We saw some sort of rabbit. We saw a bush baby, but it was quite dark. We could just see its eyes glimmering in the trees, and then I shone the flashlight, kind of see it, so I jump away. But it was very unique in that partway through, just as the sun was setting, we actually got out, and we had a bartender with us, and he got us some drinks. We actually got out and looked at some tracks, talked, had a couple cocktails, had a couple drinks, then got back in and finished driving around. So that was really unique and cool. And also, this is normally you go on these and you don't get to get out of the vehicle unless there's designated areas. But this one, our guide would just stop, check that the area was safe, get out, and go over stuff with us. We found a burrow, and he telling us all about those animals. We'd stop and look at tracks, showed us some elephant poop close up. So yeah, it was just very interesting and awesome and cool. It was just the two of us and our guide and our bartender, so that was fun. We also had an elephant start to charge us, which was insane. Got a little intense, but again, I would have expected our driver to just drive off, but he didn't, because he said that's what makes the elephant chase. Tons of baboons here. I remember the first couple times that we saw monkeys and baboons along the side of the road. I never got pictures, and it was kind of being I really want to get pictures of monkeys, and kind of worried that I was going to come here and not get any. I did not need to worry. They have been everywhere, especially here. They're everywhere here, but then there's been parking lots where they're just roaming around. Just saw some mongoose at the waterhole, which was exciting because they did see a couple mongoose at Tosha, but they were quick glimpses, never got pictures. These are still fairly far off, but glad I got some documentation on them. And yeah, we are going to do a boat cruise this morning, which is exciting, hoping to see some hippos in the water a little closer up than we've seen, maybe some animals drinking. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. Last night had a lovely dinner after our drive, and then watched some baboons drinking and lounging by the pool here, which was also fun. The last place they were guango. I don't know if it's guango or guangi, but at that one, the elephants are drinking out of the pool. No, it's the monkeys and bats flying around. Anyways, it's been awesome. It's very, very hot. So just came back. I guess our breakfast is ready. They're just making coffee, so we're going to do that. And then I think it's like 7:30, and I think we leave at 8:30 for our little boat cruise. And tomorrow we start our long trek back to Namibia, to Windhoek, to drop off the vehicle. So yeah, I'm gonna get down and get some brekkie and coffee.
The boat cruise took us along the Zambezi, where we got to see hippo, tons of African buffalo, impala, and a new antelope to us, the water buck. We even spotted a couple water monitors, one of which was swimming in the water. I hadn't heard of waterbuck before, but it turns out they are a very unique antelope. They have the ability to spoil their own meat. When being chased by a predator, they can secrete an oil that makes their meat taste bad, so predators typically avoid them unless they're desperate. If a lion takes down a waterbuck for the first time, it likely won't try it again. So cool! We also saw a couple decent-sized crocodiles, some birds, and a herd of elephant that just came down for a drink. We were told that you will sometimes see the elephants swim across, which we were hoping to see, but they just stuck to drinking this time. Another type of antelope we saw for the first time was the roan antelope. We spent the rest of the afternoon back at the lodge. A new group of guests had arrived, so we were no longer the only guests there. We had dinner, and we were about to call it an early night when the staff asked us to stay because they had a surprise for us. Shortly after, all the staff came in, singing and dancing, getting some of us up to join at one point. It was so much fun, and I'm so glad we didn't miss it. The next morning, we woke up to a thunderstorm. It was a nice little reprieve to the heat we'd been experiencing.
So, it is 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm just headed for breakfast, and then we are hitting the road. Last night, it was a bit of a cooler sleep, which was nice. It rained a lot in the afternoon. So that was our first rain. It was actually quite nice, and had some thunder and everything. So that kind of cooled things down just a touch. It was a really lovely breeze in the afternoon. So today, we start our 2-day trek back to Windhoek. So we'll be crossing into Namibia. So long 2 days of driving, but in talking to one of the tour guides, we discovered that we can actually take a route that takes us through Chobe National Park. So we'll still be going by waterholes, looking for animals. We thought we were gonna have to take the main road and like miss a lot of that. So that's very exciting that we have learned that we can actually do it in a day. So that will be fun. Yesterday we did a boat cruise in late afternoon, and we saw some hippos in the water, saw some water buck, tons of buffalo, so that was really nice. Nice to be in the water too. Had one hippo jump out our boat. I unfortunately didn't see it, just heard the big splash, and everyone else in the boat being like, ah! Jesse just caught and going under. So crazy. Hippos are crazy.
One thing I learned after we got home is Jesse was talking to our guide on the boat cruise about the hippo that chased us. This is a viral video of a hippo chasing a boat that I watched before our trip, and the hippo that chased us is in fact the same hippo.
So that was fun, and then we were just here like all afternoon. So time to get some breakfast, hit the road, and fingers crossed that we'll maybe still see some cats today. That's the hope.
After breakfast, it was time to hit the road. It was now time to start the 2-day trek back to Namibia. Originally, we thought we were going to have 2 days on the main highways, but after talking to our guide, he told us that we could do our first day driving through Chobe National Park and still make it to our first rest stop for the evening. So that's what we did. Shortly after hitting the road, we spotted a small pack of spotted dogs, and I was ecstatic. I was really hoping to see some while we were in Africa, but our guide told us even he doesn't see them very often because their numbers are really dwindling. There was even a young pup in the pack. The road was unlike anything I had ever experienced. A lot of it was sand, sometimes pretty loose, with large tire tracks that you pretty well had to stay in. You couldn't drive overly fast, and we were bouncing all over the place. But at the beginning at least, Jesse was having a blast driving. Some of the tracks were so deep that Jesse didn't even have to steer. He just stepped on the gas and the tracks kept us in place. Because we were still driving through the national park, we had lots more animal sightings. Lots and lots of elephants. There were so many elephants that there were a few times that they were blocking our route, and some of the males had their eyes on us, so we had to be patient. And once we even had to off-road a bit just to get around them because we could tell they had no plans to move out of our way anytime soon. It was a little intense at times. We also saw the most giraffe in one place while driving through Chobe.
Well done, Disney.
During the wet season, the marshy areas of Chobe are closed because the roads are undrivable. But since we were just entering the rainy season and there had only been a couple of rains, we decided to drive a short section. There were a few sections that were iffy, but the Jimny plus Jesse behind the wheel got us through. The difficult roads didn't end after exiting Chobe National Park. At one point, the road we were on was closed due to flooding, so we had to take a detour. And the detour was loose, deep sand, and still to this day, we don't know how we made it through. We were racing the sun as we were trying to get to Maun before the sunset, and we only just made it. It was a stressful day of driving, and one we will never forget.